In the beginning of November, end of October, I was fortunate enough to visit Walt Disney World Resort with my family. And when I say family, I mean both my wife's side and my side, for 2 weeks, which is way more than what I'll ever think I need, again. So let's take a look back on that trip and explore the food, the resorts, the parks, the rides, and everything in between in this Walt's World. On October 30th was our first park day. We went to visit the Magic Kingdom Park, and it was Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. This is a separate ticket event that allows the whole family to dress up and trick-or-treat throughout the 6 themed lands. The party starts at 7, but you can get in the park as early as 4, which is exactly what we did. You enter and get a wristband, and then head down the breezeway, which is that back street behind Main Street on the right side of it, and receive your first treat and your reusable bag. Because this is a special event, some rides and dining locations close during the event. Knowing this, we went to the Columbia Harbor House in Liberty Square for dinner, before we did anything else. This place specializes in seafood. I got the trio platter, which has fried shrimp, fish, and chicken with your choice of side. I chose rice to break up what was probably way too many French fries, but hey, it's vacation, and that's the default side at most places. The food at Columbia Harbor House I thought was fairly decent. It's a nice break from the usual theme park food. And it's Disney, so obviously you're going to be overpaying for almost anything. But for it being seafood, I thought it was decently priced. But also this was like day 2 of the vacation, so take that into account. Afterwards, somehow, this coaster enthusiast got lucky, with the first ride being a roller coaster. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. This family roller coaster is fun and has some pretty decent laterals as the vehicles swing from side to side around the bends. Think of this as a watered down aero suspended coaster, except not suspended and less intense, and a Vekoma. It also contains audio animatronics of the dwarfs in the mine between the 2 lift hills singing Hi-Ho. Afterwards, we went on one of my wife's favorites, and it happened to be my daughter's first Disney ride, Under the Sea, Voyage of the Little Mermaid. This ride has you board a clammobile through a retelling of the film. She absolutely loved this ride, the music and the colors. This ride holds its own to some of the classic Disney dark rides. The next ride we hit, some people love it, others despise it. We hit the happiest cruise on earth. It's a Small World. Thinking the littles would love it for the tiny doll-like animatronics that are their size and the music. Well, believe me when I say this. They fell asleep on the ride. Luckily for me, I can tune out the classic Sherman Brothers song and enjoy the ride for the artistry of this classic Disney attraction. From there, it's not Halloween without a visit to the 999 Grim Grinning Ghosts at the Haunted Mansion. This ride is an absolute masterpiece and will only get better with the addition of the Hatbox Ghost in the future. This ride always gets a big line, so hitting it early is a good idea during a Halloween party. And it just gets you in the Halloween spirit too. And who doesn't love that classic song? From that point, it was time to hit a few trick or treat spots. Don't think you're only going to get like 1 or 2 pieces of candy. You get handfuls and fistfuls of candy. We had at least 5 or 6 of these reusable bags. And yes, you can ask for more bags, which is exactly what we did. I ended up bringing a container of candy back home and taking a whole goodie bag, like gallon-size Ziploc bag, to work where it was inhaled within 2 days. Not by me. When you go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, you definitely get plenty of treats. Since we were in Frontierland, after grabbing some candy at some spots, we had to hit Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And this ride truly is the wildest ride in the wilderness. Sorry for the impression, but you really can't just read that. And man, do I forget how many laterals this ride gives. I'd compare it to Twister at Knoebels, or at least that's the vibe it gave me. and the way that it just throws you from side to side as it weaves and bobs through the mountain. It has a few little pops of airtime, nothing substantial, like, oh, you kind of bounced out of the seat a little bit, but, not a lot. This really is a massive, lateral-filled ride through the mountain. After going through the mountains, we hit the high seas with some rowdy pirates on what very well may be the greatest dark ride ever created, not just in a Disney park, Pirates of the Caribbean, which, during the Halloween party, has live actors in the queue and ride which interact with you and adds to this classic experience. Do not skip Pirates of the Caribbean. If there's one ride overlay during the Halloween party that you have to hit, I definitely say it's Pirates. Space Mountain's a close number 2, but Pirates definitely. Afterward, we hit Main Street to get a spot for the Boo to You parade. This parade has the villains and your favorite Disney and Pixar pals celebrating the Halloween season, including, but not limited to, the Fab Five: Buzz, Woody, and Jessie from the Toy Story films, Vanellope von Schweetz and Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph, the Pirates of the Caribbean, and of course, the Ghost and Crypt Keepers of the Haunted Mansion. After that, we split our party up. Some of us went to meet some of the characters that are only out during the Halloween party. Others went to go find more of the special food offerings, as well as watch the Hocus Pocus Villainous Spectacular. This revolves around the Sanderson sisters making their potion, with the help of several Disney villains. We all reconvened in Tomorrowland, where we hit Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, a shooting dark ride where you defend the galaxy from the evil Emperor Zurg. While fun, this is my least favorite shooting dark ride of all time, mainly due to the laser cannons being mounted to the vehicle, as opposed to being on a wire and able to be moved more freely. Still a fun ride though. I ended my night with a whirl on the Astro Orbiter, taking in the high-in-the-sky views of Tomorrowland and the rest of the Magic Kingdom. While the best view of all the spinner rides at Walt Disney World, I do have to point out it has a single belt for all riders and one long bench seating, and a not-so-easy-to-grab lever for controlling the going up and down a height mechanism, so keep that in mind. I would much rather take the seats on Dumbo over this, but the views are a heck of a lot better. Especially because they were testing the lighting on Tron, so I could get a view of that from up there, as well as the special Halloween patterns on the dome of Space Mountain. Now I know what you're thinking. Coaster enthusiast, Magic Kingdom, Halloween party, completely in the dark. You had to have gone on Space Mountain, right? Not this time. I did it in 2018. I didn't know it did all of that, and while I still thought it was fun, it left me a little disappointed, because for me, Space Mountain is all about not only the ride itself, but those effects, the lights. They add something else to it to me, and I can't get over that. I did consider it, as my sister and her husband were in line for it, and they told me it was moving quickly, but they were only running one side, and that line did not move that quickly. So that's why I ended up doing the rides like Space Ranger Spin and the Astro Orbiter with the little ones. Now, I also didn't do it because I wanted to do it during the Christmas party, which will be a future video that has a completely different holiday overlay. Overall, I highly recommend going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party if it's happening when you visit. It's worth the extra price of a ticket, which, if you go in September or August, it's going to be cheaper than the night of Halloween or the night before. And if you want to do it like we did, we use these party days, so Mickey's Not So Scary and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, as our Magic Kingdom days. So instead of buying 4 days of park tickets to do all 4 parks, we did 3 and used the parties as the Magic Kingdom days. Does it save you money? I guess to a point. You can be the judge of that for yourself. You will be exhausted if you stay the whole party like we did, but it's definitely worth it. You get the classic touches of the Magic Kingdom with that spooky feeling of Halloween. It's definitely something you should experience at least once in your life. And that's going to do it for this video. Congratulations! You survived the Not So Scary Halloween Party video. I could probably offer you a bunch of my own tips for visiting the Magic Kingdom on a regular day. So if that's something you think you'd be interested in seeing a video about, let me know in the comments. Also, keep an eye out for more Disney content coming soon. We went for 2 weeks, so I've got plenty to talk about. And as always, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the parks.